Yeah, good evening. Back here with a lesson. In last class, we are discussing on a protocols, and I have explained you how protocols will work and how two services will be there in a protocols. One is on a service interface, and another one is on a peer-to-peer interface. Now we have discussed that how encapsulation will be done on between different layers with the protocols. As I explained you how to any data the header will be fixed and how an encapsulation will be done with that particular header. Now after this, coming to the network architecture, when we want to follow, assume that now I want to design a network, what we should follow means which reference we should take. So when we want to take a reference to build our own network, we are having two reference models. A reference models are there. Two reference models are there. One is a OSI reference model, another one is a TCP IP model is there. Now coming to this OSI reference model. What is this OSI reference model? The open system interface. Now, this is a OSI reference model which will be there. Coming to your syllabus, we are going to discuss now about this OSI reference model, which is very important for your exam. Where the one in a model one maybe the chances of this question will be more that explained the 7 layers of an OSI model with a neat diagram. So this question will be a definite question for you, so which you have to write in an exam. Now be carefully listen this particular session. Now coming to the OSI reference model, 7 layers will be there in this. The 7 layers, what are the 7 layers which you can consider? 7. The 7th layer will be an application layer. So application layer. And the 6th layer will be right, the session layer. The 5th layer will be presentation layer, and the 4th layer will be transport layer, and the third layer will be after a transport layer, the third layer will be a network layer, and the second layer will be data link layer. The last layer will be your physical layer. Right? Assume that there are two systems. We will consider it as a host 1 and another one is there. Assume that it's a host 2. In earlier classes, I have explained you that host 1 and a host 2 means a source and a destinations. Now coming over here, here same 7 layers will be there here. So application layer. Next coming to here, the session layer will be there, then the presentation layer will be there, then the transport layer will be there, so transport layer will be there, then the network layer will be there, so then afterwards DDL layer, that is a data link layer will be there, then coming to physical layers. These two systems will be connected with a medium here. So any type of medium, as I told you earlier, whether it can be a hair medium, whether it can be any other mediums where you are going to connect. So like that, different mediums, these two systems may be connected. So in between, so other networks means other systems will be there where we are going to utilize up to the network layer. That is network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. So in between, so this much will be. Now coming to how these particular layers will be working, we'll discuss one by one here. Coming to the, we'll start with number one, that is a physical layer. A physical layer is a layer which is held responsible to transfer zeros and one bytes from one system to another system. So it will take that zeros and ones, it will transfers that zeros and ones to one system to the another system via medium. Coming to next, a data link layer. What is a data link layer? Data link layer will collect these zeros and ones in one collection, and it will aggregate that all that zeros and ones, and it will form a frame. Underline the word frame here. That means the zeros and ones will be converted to the frames here. And here the error detection and small error corrections will be done. And mainly this particular layer is held responsible for your host to host communication. That is, as previously I told you that host to host communication means system to system communication. In between systems also will be taken into the consideration here. That means, I repeat again, data link layer is held responsible to collect all the zeros and ones which is coming from a physical layer, and what further it will do, it will aggregate all the zeros and ones, it will make a frame. Underline the word frames. It will convert that to the frames, and error detections and error corrections will be done here at the host layer, means host communication based. Coming to the next layer. Now this is one of the very important layer in a OSI model, that is on a network layer. What is this, a network layer? This network layer is held responsible here, whatever frames will be there which is collected from a data link layer will be taken, and here the frames will be converted to the packets. As I told earlier, each and every packet will have its own unique identifications. So here it will be converted to the packets, and this network layer is held responsible to establish a route from source to destination via different nodes, via different devices. That here the sense. That is why in between I have taken only up to the network layer and not all the 7 layers is there. This is a very important point, that from source and destination only we need all the 7 layers functioning, but in between nodes we never need all the 7 layers. Why? Because the store and forward method or a packet switching method will be there. That assume that now in between one node is there, and this is the source and this is a destination. The packet will be sent from this particular source to this node first, host to host communication. Assume. Now the physical layer will convert all zeros and ones. Here the zeros and ones whatever is there will be collected by this physical layer, and it will be sent to the data link layer. What this data link layer will do, it will collect all zeros and ones, it will make frames, as I told you earlier. After making a frame of collection, it will check for an error detections and all. Later on, if no detection means no errors detection is there, again it will be sent to the network layer. There, as I told you in earlier case, the encapsulation of the frame will be removed and a packet will be taken out from this network layer, and it will see the packet. That is, whether this packet belongs to me or not. Now, as I told that here host to host communication, it will check, and here according to the header, the routing information will be there in this particular network layer. As I told, here this network layer is used to maintain a route from source to destination. Now here it will check which is the next node to transfer this particular packet. So to that particular node, assume the next node is on a destination node itself. So what it will do, it will repacks that particular packet and it will send back to the data link layer. Again frame will be formed here. Again it will comes to the physical layer, zeros and ones, again it will come back here. Now assume that now here it will comes to the destination. Now destination physical layer will collect all zeros and ones. Later on it will comes to the data link layer, which will takes all the zeros and ones, which will make a frames, checks for an error detections, again network layer. Now what this network layer will do here, this network layer will check whether this packet belongs to this particular system. Yes, this packet belongs to this particular system, then it will be sent to the other next upcoming layers. So here in between the nodes we are using only the network layer, where it will check the packet which doesn't belongs to it, then it will forward it to the next particular node. That you have to keep in your mind. Coming to next thing, that is the transport layer. So what this transport layer will do? As I told you in earlier that layer formations, the process to process communication will be there here. So the process to process communication will be done by the transport layer. That is, as I told you that 100 packets is there, all 100 packets are moved or not, either moved in a sequence, either any middle packets has been dropped, retransmission of the packets has been needed or not. So whatever a network layer here it is there, that packet will be sent to the transport layer and it will check, it will remove the encapsulation of the network layer, that is host to host communication. Then it will check whether the sequence, whether the process ID of that particular packet is correct. So everything will be done at the transport layer. Coming to the next thing, that is the session layer. Sorry, here we should go with a session layer. I missed this. We'll go with a session layer. This is the session layer. Then afterwards the presentation layer will come. Sorry. So this is the presentation layer. Now session layer, what it will do? This is the question. A session will be established. What do you mean by a session? What a process will do? All the packets, whatever 100 packets of that process is there, it should transfer from source to the destination. On that particular name, we need one name for this particular process. So a name will be made by the session layer, and a session layer will maintain this session until the process will get completed. So for that we are going to use a session layer, which will be the fifth layer. Coming to the next layer, the presentation layer will be there. The presentation layer, what it will do? See, the presentation according to your operating system. In a beginning classes, I told you that in an internet or in a network, different members will use different operating systems and different architectures will be used. Correct? No? So for that, whatever a network coding will be there, that network coding must be converted to the presentation of your operating system. You are using a browser. So for that, this presentation layer is very much important. That means the network codec will be converted to your presentation or your user presentation. So that sixth layer, the presentation layer, will do this particular work. Coming to the next application layer. What is this application layer? In this layer, what a protocol will do? It will collect all the packets, segments, whatever is there from the particular transport layer, and the presentation will be given, and your application user will be connected to this particular layer. So for a user, it will represent the final message or the final information. So that information will be taken care by this application protocol. Now how these each layer will works with its own protocols. That is, application layer will have its own protocol, presentation layer will have its own protocols, and session layer like that. As I told you in earlier class, that a protocol will have two things. One is the service interface will be there, and a peer-to-peer interface will be there. That is, these layers will be connected like this with a service interface, like this, This is a service interface, as I told in previous class. Now a peer-to-peer connection will be there. like this. It's a peer-to-peer connection will be there between the what actually this? So you can ask me the question, sir, why you are writing a dotted lines here and why you are writing a dark lines as a service interface. Layer to layer means the upper layer and a lower layer or layer to layer within a system will be in a service interface. That is, this application should take some message and that messages will be given to the presentation which will convert to the network coding. Correct? No? That's the thing. What network coding, then it will come, a session will be opened, then it will be given, that message segments will be given to the transport layer where it will identify each and every thing as a packets. Again, like this, it will finally physical layer. So it will convert that to the zeros and ones which will pass through the medium. And reversely, this has to do. Now observe carefully, what is a peer-to-peer understanding? This application layer will do the work and the same work will be done here. For example, here I will write a letter in English. Okay, I will send to my friend. What application layer should do, whatever may be the in-between network codec, I never mind. So it should go to the application layer as an English only, and this application layer should open this to my friend. For example, if I send a mail in English, the mail should go here and it should be represented in English what I have sent. So this is a responsibility. So sending of the message, reading of the message, or receiving of the message. Presentation layer, whatever English is there, assume the English should be converted to the network codec. Why? Because different systems will be there and different operating systems will be connected in a network. All network means whatever systems connected should understand some unique codec. So your presentation layer, what it will do, it will convert that to the network codec and it will tell your session layer, open a session now, a process has been started. So like that, again it will come to the transport layer. Now, okay, overall a message, it came as a segments, it will check how many packets it will be. Okay, 100 packets. So what are the sequences, how a unique IDs should be given to this, everything. Now, network layer, what it will do, okay, yeah, the transport layer will tell a network layer, this is my destination which I want to send on a packet. First you make your route. So this network layer is responsible to make a route using some algorithms as we discussed in our lab program, the distance vector algorithm, like that, different algorithms it will use, and it will make a shortest path via different nodes to the destination. So this is held responsible like that. And the node by the packet by packet will be sent to the network layer, and that packet will be sent again to the data link layer where that will be converted to frames. Why? Because a host to host communication will be done through frames. That you have to keep in your mind. Now this is overall the open system interface OSI reference model with the 7 layers. Now in this session I explained you all this functioning of the 7 layers and how these 7 layers are interdependent with each other in a system, and how a peer-to-peer thing means communication should be maintained. So this is a one important reference model which we are going to use to make a network design. So thank you for this session. I think you may have any doubts, so you can send me through the WhatsApp. Thank you very much.